Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's and this week's Tuesday tip at 2. First, let me introduce myself. It is me, Danielle J. Mitchell, your up and coming queen of real estate. And today I'm going to be, this was by a viewer request. This is a viewer request tip that I'm doing. I had actually talked about this early on when I first started doing Tuesday Tips at 2 and vlogging and all that good stuff. And before I got a good mic and some good video and audio, um, I did a video on the how to save to buy a house, right? And pretty much it was just how much money you would need, what the money would be for, essentially, right? And I had a viewer, I believe a new viewer, a new subscriber, comments that they appreciated the video, but could I redo it? Could I remake it? And I was like, I absolutely can. Absolutely can. And especially now that the market has changed and things have changed along the way since a couple years ago. I do want to give a shout out to the fact that I have been doing this for over 100 episodes. I think, yeah, this is 107, even though it says like 207 or 206, whatever episode this is. But that's exciting. I forget to do happy 1 year and happy however many episodes. I forget about all that, but I'm gonna do it right now. And I was thankful for the request to redo something that I had done a while ago when I was just starting out and trying to figure it out. So I'm excited to do this one again. So thank you, new viewer. Thank you, new subscriber. Listen, what I need you to do is do this. Okay? Do like, subscribe, share, comments, because guess what? Somebody commented, and look, here we are. I'm quick to deliver. I'm quick to respond for the most part. So I'm excited to have a request and to be able to do it. So please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you to those who are new to the channel, have recently subscribed. I appreciate it. Thank you to those who have reached out to me, contacted me, and got some consultations or even just had conversations about real estate. I appreciate it. Keep it coming. Listen, if this is helping you or anybody else, don't keep the information to yourself. Share it out because you never know who might need it. All right. So let's get into it. What do I need? How much money do I need? I have a good friend of mine. Shout out to you. You probably know who you are. Who was in the market to buy in a different state. And then they're like, listen, I watch your stuff and it's like, how much money do I need? And it seems to go up and all that good stuff. So we're going to talk about it. Let's walk through it. I want to start out by saying my general rule of thumb, what I the numbers that I have found to work and be the most accurate is you're going to need for your closing costs, down payment included, okay, and some of the different things we're going to go through included. You're going to need about 10% of the purchase price for your home purchase, right? That 10% is for your closing costs. And I know I've done videos on closing costs. Look through my archives. We're going to talk about it a little bit here today. But you're going to need all together about 10% of the purchase price. So if you are looking at $100,000 houses, you are going to probably need about $10,000 to get that house. If you're looking at $200,000 houses, you're going to need about $20,000. If you're looking at $300,000 houses, you're going to need about $30,000. Okay, so we could just keep that ball rolling. So what you're typically are going to need, of course, the higher the purchase price, the more money you're going to need to come to the table with. So that is the rule of thumb. So based on, hopefully you've already talked with a lender. If you have not talked to a lender and you're just trying to calculate possibly how much you're able to afford, there are plenty of mortgage calculators, affordability calculators. My website, www.djmrealtyco.com, does have a calculator where you can look at it two ways, see as far as home purchase, how much affordability you have there. And it's an excellent calculator. Okay. It's excellent. The one I have on my website is a very good one. I use it sometimes myself. But if you're just trying to look and see potentially how much you might be able to afford, that is a great rule of thumb. And then it'll give you an idea of how much you need to save. Now, I always say the more you save, the better, right? So if you are looking at a home purchase price $100,000 and you do not have $10,000 saved, the closer you get to that number, the better. Now, if you have $7,000, if you have $6,000 for that price point, you may still be okay, right? Why are you going to be okay? Because you have things that I've talked about in the past, seller's assist or seller's credit that can help you with your closing costs. You have grant programs out there, so if you need a little bit extra, they're great to utilize. You have lender credits possibility. All there are things that can help cushion it, right? So when you're collecting the information on what's out there, you need to consider, hey, I know at least I'm going to need about 10% for my closing costs. So, what is out there? What grant programs, what other things are out there that I can utilize that's going to help me? And so I can really have a good idea as to how much I need to save and what can make it possible, right? If you are trying to get a home and you have 2,000 saved, at whatever price point, that's going to be tough, right? But if you're like, hey, I have a good $5,000 or $6,000, let me see if it's a possibility, and you're looking for a house that's under $200,000, then it probably is a strong possibility you can get it done, right? There are things out there to help you, right? So let's start with that. 10% of the purchase price. That's where you start for your closing costs. Okay. Now, what encompasses the savings that's needed, right? So 10% can include the earnest money. Does it include? Typically, yeah. It kind of includes like you needing that earnest. It does include needing the earnest money deposit. So let's talk about that. Some of the out-of-pocket costs that you're going to need are upfront costs that is going to take place when you're going to buy a house. It is your earnest money deposit, right? So you are out shopping for a house. You see the house that you love. You want to put in an offer in for it. And yay, we got the offer accepted. We cheer, we rah, 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 all that good stuff, right? And then when your offer is accepted, you are going to put down what is called good faith money or earnest money deposit or for short EMD. Okay. That is typically 1 to 3% of the purchase price. So $100,000 house, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Now, it is a rule of thumb due to the fact that it is a seller's market. It can be competitive, that you may have to put down more than that. You may have to put down something a bit more hefty, from 3% to 4% to 5%, or flat, however many thousand, right? Just to show that you're serious, to show that it's a strong offer, right? That is your good faith money. That is, you have to attach money to the contract, the agreement to sell, right? Because you're going under contract for that property. So that earnest money deposit is credited towards your closing costs. Okay. It is a credit, right? So the more money you put down, the more credit you have, the less money you have to bring to the closing table. Okay. Also know that earnest money deposit, you are able to get that back during those different times of contingencies, which would include the inspection contingency, the appraisal contingency, if somebody's in breach of contract, if the seller's breach of contract of something, then you can get that earnest money deposit back. Sometimes people get leery on putting up more money if what if something goes wrong, or I don't want to jeopardize that, because that's all the money I have, right? So we just make sure that if you're putting up more money, that it's ironclad, that it makes sense, that we want to make sure that that deposit is secure if something were to go awry. Okay. So earnest money deposit, 1 to 3% of the purchase price. The next thing that you're going to need, and this is the cost of buying a house. This is the upfront money that you'll need. Okay. Um, so the next thing that you'll need is your inspection, right? You have to get an inspection done. Now, even if if you waive an inspection contingency, which is a period you can negotiate for the seller to, fix something or to give you a credit for something that's going on with the house. Say you waive that, you still should get an inspection done in the house, because you need to know about the property that you're purchasing, right? So it gives you an idea of what's going on with it, if it's anything major or not major, right? That's going to run you in this day and age about between $600 and $800. Okay. Before, I used to be able to say about 500 to 700, but inflation. Okay, inflation is inflating. Okay, so it's going to be about $600 to $800. All right, and that encompasses a home inspection, a radon inspection, and a termite inspection, which is three top inspections that you may get done. Now, if you want additional inspections, which you have the right to, okay, that is additional monies. Okay, that's additional money. So when I say 600 to 800, so a home inspection may be like $400 or $500 by itself. That's from the basement to the roof, or to the exterior. You can't break up walls or anything, but it gives you an idea of what's going on with the house as a whole. Termite, of course, is to see if they're earning pests, termites. And then radon is, a gas that if it gets too high of a level, it emotes from the basement, it's from the ground. If it's the levels for that gas is too high, it becomes unsafe, and it needs to be remediated. So those are the typical things you can get done. You can get done more than that. You can get a survey done. You can get a sewage inspection. You can get a whole bunch of things done. But just understand that it will be $600 to $800 plus whatever other inspections you get done in addition to that. Okay. Another cost you need to think of too. Hey, maybe you got your inspection done. Maybe some repairs need to be made, and you want that inspector to come back out. If you are that person who wants the professional to come back out, then you need to allot for that money, which can be anywhere from, I would say, $200 to $300 for them to come back out, because they're just pretty much reviewing the stuff that you got fixed. Okay. But it could be more than that. All of these monies may vary. The next thing you need is to have money for your appraisal. Okay. The appraisal is, of course, to make sure that the house is worth what you're paying for it, right? And the mortgage company needs to make sure that it's worth that, because that's the only way they're going to give you the financing. They're like, hey, maybe we got to make sure it makes sense. So they are going to get an appraisal order for you. It's typically about $500 to $600 for most lending companies, and you have to prepay for that. Okay, and then the mortgage company will make sure they get that ordered, and you pay for it online typically, and all that good stuff. So that's another upfront cost to consider. So you got your earnest money deposit, your inspection the first time around, and however many you choose to get. If you want them to come back out, you have that to consider, as well as your appraisal. Those are the three upfront costs that you have to take into consideration. And then the rest is for your closing costs. Your closing costs consist of transfer taxes and your city tax, municipality, whatever's being charged from your title service, from your lender, the cost of buying a house. All of those things are included which is why you need, on average, about that 10% of whatever the purchase price is for to save up on. And like I said, take into consideration there's a K-Fit program that can give you up to 5%, or that gives you 5%, that you might be eligible for and take advantage of. There is also, again, seller's assist, right? You can get up to 3 with a conventional loan. You can get up to 6 with the FHA loan. I do want to say that the 10% rule for closing costs based on the purchase price works if it's a regular FHA 3.5% down. It works if it's a conventional 3% down, right? If it's something outside of that. Now, for example, if you're getting an FHA 203K loan, there are some things that the lender may escrow, so that may add to your closing costs. Okay. If you are paying 5% down on your conventional loan, then your down payment is going to be higher. If you are putting up some money towards the purchase price of the house, so it's the mortgage plus whatever cash that you have, it's going to make your closing costs higher. It being the end of the year versus the beginning of the year changes your closing costs as well. So these are, and why? Because, you're paying the seller back on whatever taxes that they pay upfront, right? So these are some nuances that can possibly change what it will be, but that's why I always say 10% is what I have come to learn is 10% is a good estimate that's typically on par and realistic. All right. Some people may say other things. I do want to say that closing costs includes the down payment for your mortgage. So that's why I was mentioning if you're putting down 3.5% or 5% or 3% or 10%, right? Those are all factors. So rule of thumb, 10%. If there are some different nuances, then that may go up from 10% to between 10 and 15%. Okay, that you need savings wise. All right. I hope that is helpful. I hope that is helpful. I hope it makes sense. Um, and yeah, that's it. So that's pretty much what you're going to need when you go to purchase a house. I hope that's helpful to you. If you have any other question, comments, or concern, listen, please reach out to me. I appreciate the feedback. And like I said, I respond to it. And that's why I'm doing this video today. So please reach out to me. Let me know. You know what you need to do? You need to go to djmrealtyco.com to book a consultation with me. If you're interested in buying, if you're interested in selling, please contact me ASAP. Okay. What did I say? ASAP. ASAP with a P. And we can get you on the road to selling or buying a home. Okay. Remember, I'm Danielle J. Mitchell, your up and coming queen of real estate. I service Philadelphia and the surrounding suburbs. Remember, there is no place like home and no place like home buying. And I will talk to you next week for a new episode of Tuesday Tip It 2. Bye.